Hi everyone, this is Marlon, also known as Blue Monica on my YouTube account and many other accounts that I have on different sites. Today I want to explain to you and show you how I create a watercolor painting. The one I do today is more of the size of a postcard, about 3.9 by 5.5 inches, so it's quite small. It's also the first time that I make a painting around this size, so bear with me. Not too good at explaining things, but here goes. Here's the line art drawing that I prepared for this video. I attached the drawing with masking tape on a piece of cardboard so it will stay in place. I then start adding in the basic colors. Here I determine what colors I want to use in my painting, and as you can see, this drawing is a bit steampunk-like, so I use the usual steampunk colors, which are sepia, brown, yellow and a bit of grey. Also, if the paint turns out a bit too dark at some places, I just dip over it with a piece of kitchen paper, so it will lighten, but the paint of course needs to be wet. Otherwise it won't work, of course. If there's a color you don't like at all, or you made a mistake or went over the lines or whatever, you can just remove the paint a little by adding water to your brush, scraping your brush a bit over the area you want to remove, and then dip in it again with a piece of kitchen paper. I make sure the cogwheels have a bit of different colors to them, because most cogwheels are quite the same in color, and makes the painting more interesting, of course. Once that's all over with, I start adding in the background. And I decided to go with a reddish color, so it will make the figure and the cogwheels stand out a bit more. And I don't know if it's just my brand of watercolors that I use, but I find red a bit hard to work with, because unlike other colors, I cannot really make it lighter or remove it when I make a mistake with just water and kitchen paper, but I'll manage in the end. So I'll just keep finishing up. Now we move on to the next part, which are the shadows. And I always start off with basic shadow coloring. I usually determine where the light source comes from, but in this case, honestly, I don't really have a clue, so I just improvise. It looks a bit horrible in the beginning, but it will all turn out in the end. I just put in roughly where I want to have the shadow, and then just mix the darker parts with the lighter colors. I'll just blend it in later by adding water to my brush. So here you can see I also, once I have all the skin tones ready, here I decided to give the eyes a blue color, so they will stand out. And I also add a bit of pink to her cheeks. By adding pink to skin colors, it will make them look more flashy, more alive, more natural and realistic as well. I then just repeat the whole process again with the shadows in the rest of my painting. And then I start doing the metal objects. Honestly, at first they may look a bit difficult, but once you get the hang of it, they're pretty simple to paint. Just look at metal and shiny objects all around you for reference. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it soon enough as well. And now it's highlighting time. Yep, I use my white ink for the highlights. I really love this part. But it's also time consuming because I use my millimeter pencil, And with the millimeter pencil, white ink and paint dries up really quickly, so I need to renew the paint and white ink all the time, so it takes a bit. So I put highlights in her hair. Oh, here I start putting in the line art. And this is actually my favorite part, but it's also the most time-consuming part of the whole painting, because I use my millimeter pencil again, and this whole painting, line art, it took me at least 30 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if it took me a whole hour, but at this point you can really see the picture come to life, really see it evolving. And I like to use brown paint. You can use black paint or whatever color you want, but I find brown to be a more soothing color for line art. And I don't know, it just fits the rest of the colors as well. So I just keep doing this, and I will skip forward because the whole process took too long. And then I add in the details. More pink to her skin tone, more pink to her lips, and color in the shadows. Why do I add in colors in the shadows? Well, I find that it makes it more interesting by adding a different color in the shadows than the color that's already there. Like, I could have used blue, green, red, whatever, but I decided to use reddish purple. If you do this, it makes the whole coloring more interesting and gives it far more depth. So I also add in some splotches in the cargo wheels to make them look a bit rusty. They're metal objects after all, so this makes it more clear. And once that's over with, I continue with the background, and I'll add in purple. Why purple? Because I felt that the rest of the coloring, it blended in too much with the background. It was too much of the same color. And purple brings it out a bit more. I'll make the whole background wet, and by having a wet background, the splotches I make with the colors, they blend in far more easier. It makes it gives the background an interesting texture. And then I'll surround the figure and the cargo wheels with white ink, so they stand out more from the background. Gives them a bit of radiating light sort of sense around them. I don't know, whatever you think. And then actually the picture's nearly done, and I have to add in my initials. I can't do my full name because the picture is just too small, and the year of making, 2010. I carefully remove the masking tape, otherwise if I'm too rough, the painting will get damaged and you'll automatically get a white border around your painting. This is the end result. So I hope you like it, and if you're actually interested in buying the real deal, you can so. I opened up an Etsy shop and this will be in it, but be quick because there's only one. And if you're not interested, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I also hope to see you again next time. Bye!